Just like that, we're back on the Corsa, guys. So we've got the Corsa in the garage at the minute. The garage is a mess, so I am sorry about that. But I'm going to try and record the best I can with a messy garage. So the bumper's on. As you can see, it's an Opel one. The bumper isn't on properly. It's not screwed in at all. It's literally just placed on it. I need to go behind it and I need to change the crash bar and all the brackets and everything first. We have got that, thank God. All the parts are finally here. The most expensive was the bumper and it was really hard to find. So on this bumper, you can see there, we haven't actually got the chrome part and we've got the Opel logo, but that's not a problem because the grill's intact and I did keep the silver chrome part off the other one, which isn't damaged. And then down here, we've got fog lights. Well, we've got non-fog lights, which we need to change into fog lights. This bumper is a bit damaged, but it's nothing we can't polish up and make into a better condition. We're going to sort that light out. Unfortunately, I couldn't get hold of another light, so it is going to have to be this light for now. And then if it sells with the light, it sells with the light. If not, we'll get another one. We've got the wing, so we need to put the wing on. We're going to put the new glass in today. The parts are just inside of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, get the tape on all this off, take the bumper off the car, so get the bumper back off. I'm going to go ahead and change the frame around the back because right now the car's got no crash impact bar. So if this was to be in an accident again, it would more than likely just fold inwards that way. So it's definitely not safe right now. We need to get it MOT tested. We need to check for the MOT test and then we can move on. I've had this car what feels like for eternity now, just because I was struggling with the parts. The parts were an absolute nightmare. And some of the people were asking almost £500 for a bumper. So it was absolutely chaos trying to get the parts. But we've got them finally. Let's get the bumper up, bumper off. I'll go ahead and I'll change the bracket. We'll change the bracket there, put the bumper on, put the wing on, and then we'll go from there. I think that's the best course of action today. So let's get the bumper off. Just like that, we've got the Corsa back to looking like a Corsa. So we have run into two issues. One is my fault. Well, they're both really my fault, but one I can kind of play it off that I didn't know about it. So the issue I've got, if you look at this end here, in particular, this line, that is the issue I have. So the issue is as simple as this. If we go over to the top of the wing, you can see the line here. As it goes down, it widens up. Now, it shouldn't go bigger here. It should stay nice and quite snug. What I believe has happened is if I move back, what I believe has happened is when the car's been in an impact, from whatever way it was impacted, I believe the bonnet hinges have bent slightly and pushed the bonnet either that way or this way. But something's happened where the hinges aren't right, so I need to order some new hinges. It isn't an issue. Bonnet still opens and closes fine. We've got the new rad bar thing behind it. We've got the crash bar on. We've got the bumper on, the wing on, the glass on. The only thing we've still got that's old is literally just that light there, which isn't taking any condensation. It's just cracked on the top. We've transferred the fog lights over, so it's literally got all the fog. It looks like it's not seated properly in the pictures there, but it actually is seated. I'm not sure why. The cameras, saying of which we can always just push it in a little bit more. And, you know, on the back, they've had the tabs, we can just pull them, bend them a little bit to make sure it's gripping. And then we've got it there. But the line I was on about, if you look there, you can see how nice this line follows across there. So unfortunately, on the other side, we haven't got the line. We've got the bumper nice and screwed in. Unfortunately, I didn't record much of it because, like I said, it was just someone coming down to help me. And if you look at the line on that side, that's what I'm on about there. Other than the panel gaps were quite good. Now, the second issue we've got is I received a damaged bumper. The bumper's missing the corner here. Now, this is something I could take up with eBay, which I am going to message the seller, because when I bought the bumper, there was no damage. The bumper's been in wrapping. There's not a chance the bumper's got damaged while it's been with me. So that must mean that they know what they've sent, and yet they've still charged me full price. If they're willing to knock a bit off, I'll be happy. If not, you know what, it might just have to go like that, because they are extremely hard to find the bumper. We've got the glass on here. So the way the glass was put on is the people who came down, they sanded a little bit off to take our tape off that I'd put on. They then used something that's called etching or something like that. What they've done is basically almost as if it went to metal, and they used like a ball and put this thing on it that made it go black, and that's like a primer adhesive, they were saying. And then they took the glass, they prepped the back of the glass, cleaned it all up. There was old silicone in the glass, so they cleaned it all up. And then what they've done was once they cleaned the old glass up, they just went round it like this on the glass itself and put a bead in. They had like a little suction cup, which was a circle little ball over the top of it there. And they just pressed that in there. They put 2 tapes on there and a tape across the bottom there. And they told me to leave it for 24 hours and I should be good to go. We've come back and it's perfectly fine. So now we need to go ahead and start looking at the MOT, because the Corsa's repaired now, but is it going to pass its MOT, which is the next issue. So the MOT checks will be checking the tyres, checking the suspension, checking, so we can see the tyres there. The tyres look fairly, that tyre looks like it's in good nick to me. So we'll check all 4 tyres, we'll check the suspension, check the drop links, the ball joints, and the best way to check that is what we'll do is we'll take the car back outside, we'll straighten the wheels up, we'll jack the car up there, and then once you jack it up, when you hold the wheel straight, if you shake the wheel, so the car's in the air, if you shake the front wheel, put one hand there, and you shake the wheel almost like this, if there's any movement, you've got some issue behind there. It could be as simple as a bottom arm, a wishbone, a ball joint, a track rod end, and then you've got to shake it from top to bottom as well. Full lock the wheel, like, well, it's not full locked right now, but you can kind of, what's happening there? I don't know why the camera can't see it, but you can kind of see, like, there should be a shock here. So if we go over to this side, you might actually be able to see it better on this side. If I just get the torch, just so I can show you what I'm on about, and try not to break everything in the process. So if you look just there, so that bit of rust, that's normal, that's nothing to worry about. So we'll check the spring and the shock to make sure it's all fine, which is just there. We would then, we would check the front, we'd check all the bulbs, make sure all the headlight bulbs, that side, both are working, fog lights are working, rear bulbs are working fine. We'll just take a quick look under the back, so the subframe, we'll look at the discs and the pads. We'll take it for a quick little test drive. Now, you shouldn't be driving without MOT unless it's going from a garage to a garage or for repairs. And it is booked in for MOT tomorrow, so it's going to get dropped off today, and I am just going to drive it there quickly. It's already booked in, so we'll just drive it there to try and save a bit of cost. But we're going to check it all over, see what it needs, and if it needs anything else, we'll sort that out now, so it passes its MOT. I'll let you know what I find. Let's get it outside. Right, guys, so we've got some of the parts here. We've got someone actually working on the bumper at the front. So I've got someone helping me today, which means we might actually get this car closed up all today and maybe MOT'd over the next few days. But anyway, we've got the parts here right now. The bumper's at the front and the cage is at the front, which is like the brackets and the crash bar and everything goes onto it. Got someone helping me fit that at the front. The glass that goes onto the side, which I believe should be in this little box in here. This glass needs to be fitted with a special type of glue. So if we go over to the car, I have took the tape off it. So just here, this all needs to be, from what my understanding is, and I could be a bit wrong, but this needs to be first cleaned up. It needs to have a certain type of primer on it, which is like, I think it's a certain type of primer, or it's a certain chemical or something that goes around the edge. And what it does is it makes it stick to it, rather than come up, like fall back off. And then it needs to be a certain type of silicone, which I think goes on the mirror itself. Either goes on the glass itself or goes on here. And then the glass needs to be pushed on so there's no gaps left where there's no air. Now, I haven't got the silicone and I haven't got the chemicals or anything to do that. I do have the glass. I have spoke to a local company and they've turned around and told me they're more than willing to come out and fit it for me. Obviously, charge the labour. But they have advised me, first put the wing on and then they'll come down and do this. But they can come today. So we need to get the wing on, which I've told them it'll take me no more than 10 minutes. Might take a bit longer, but we kind of like, they're not going to come in 10 minutes. So anyway, we'll get the wing on first and then we'll continue and get them on with the window. If they allow me to film them, I will film it so you can see how it goes on, and then both of us, me and yourselves, will know how the glass actually goes onto the frame. If they don't want to be filmed, I'll watch it and I'll explain it to you later. But we need to get that on the bumper. Now, if we go back towards the car, when I was telling you about the trims earlier, this is what I meant. So the car absolutely reeks. You're so lucky you don't have to smell this. You're just watching it. But we've got the fog lights. So these were salvageable parts and they didn't break, so we took them off. So we've got the fog lights, and then these are the covers that go on the fog lights. So lucky I kept them, and then this is the main thing, what will go on the Vauxhall badge, on the Opel logo. So ultimately, the Opel logo will just hide behind there. And this just all just literally clips in. I think maybe 1 or 2 clips on it are broken. I'd never noticed that before. I think 1 or 2 clips on it are broken, like just there and the bottom one there. It's not a problem, like I said, because it's in good condition, doesn't make too much of a difference. We can clip it in, and worst case scenario, we can always put a bit of glue behind it. But what I'm going to do is I am going to see if I can get another one of them. Put this on for now so it looks nice. See if I can get another one of them, and then we literally just pop it off and put the new one back on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this wing unpackaged, which is just in here, and I believe it's the same colour. And even this cost a fortune. So for a wing, I would have thought no more than £40 max. Unfortunately, this one cost me £100. So I was given the window and this, and £100, not including delivery, I personally think was a lot of money to spend onto this car. Unfortunately, the ones that were getting cheaper were like red and blue and that, so it would have added back up again. But in the past, when I've needed parts for a Corsa D, and I've rang up and got like a wing or something, I have only paid 40-50 quid. Just unfortunate at this moment in time I couldn't get all of the right parts. But that's not a problem. We are going to go ahead and get everything unpackaged, get it all ready, and I'll get the wing up and I'll show you what it looks like.